Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with a review of a infamous Serbian film from 2011, and that movie is a Serbian film. While I do not own the uncut version of this movie, I own the 1 minute cut edition that's a bare bones release that doesn't even have subtitle options. You put it in your DVD player and it automatically puts on English. It's a very, very bare bones release. And, but it's a pretty cool release because, instead of doing the whole, having the description on the back, even on the sleeve thing, they didn't do that. They just had this cool, packaging, and then you had the thing with the description and then, who the film was directed by and whatnot. But I think you guys are here because you want to know whether or not this movie's disturbing cinema fan standards. Now, if you guys do know, this is ranked at 3 out of 5 on my top 5 sickest, which I put it below Necromantic. It's hard to point at this fucking thing. I put it below Necromantic, which a lot of people think is weird that I would put it below that, but I remembered why I wanted a copy of this film, just so I could show people that I have it, and that's really it. Because I watched this movie once. I watched the uncut version, and the uncut version, while I did like the film, and while I did find the film somewhat entertaining and mildly disturbing at times, after I got done watching it, I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch that ever again. Then I was like, hey, Christmas is coming up. I can get a copy of this movie. Then I rewatched it, and then I remembered why I didn't want to watch it ever again. And even though this has the infamous baby scene cut out, it's still there in a sense that it just doesn't show it. You still hear it, which still is... ugh. Which, it was hard to watch the first time. It's even harder to watch even with just the audio. But, basically, this movie follows a retired porn star named Milos as he gets hired to do an art film, and he's married and has a kid, and he gets hired to do an art film and artistic pornography. And it turns out that it's a snuff film involving necrophilia and pedophilia. Now, I saw this movie at FYE about a year ago, and it's the copy I have. It just didn't have the sleeve on it. It's the copy I have, and I wanted to get it because it was $20. And it seems like almost every other time I go into an FYE, there's always a copy. It's every other time I go in. Like when I went in just the other day, there was a copy in there. It seems like this film always ends up in FYEs. But, I was gonna buy it one time. But this was before I had done any research, and I only knew that it was considered a disturbing movie. So I had to do a little bit of research first and learn what it was actually about before I even took the risk of buying the film. Because, well, actually, this was before I even learned how bad a movie can turn out, no matter how good some of the reviews are, how good it sounds sometimes, or how disturbing it is considered. Like List for Valentine's, Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, I would consider that to be one of the worst films ever made, while some, and when I say some, I mean a scant few, would call it art. I would say that is pure shit compressed into a disc. But anyway, back to this movie. Sure, the plot sounds interesting, and this movie's well written, well acted. I can't say anything negative about this movie, except for the baby scene and the ending. And that's really it. Those two things, even in the cut version, still kind of bother me. And while I still do think this is ranked below Necromantic, I still think Necromantic is probably the most disturbing movie I've ever seen. This one's still up there. It's not going to change the spot, no matter how much I rewatch the film and are even more disturbed by it. It gets a bit more disturbing each time you watch it, I think, personally. And really, I guess I could suggest this to disturbing film fans only. If you're in for something just completely screwed up, then buy this. Rent it, download it, do what you want. I watched the uncut version on YouTube for free. That's how I decided whether or not it was worth a buy. And now that I own it, I feel a bit better, because now my shelf of infamous movies has gained another entry. Now it has grown by another film. I still want to get a few more movies that are rather infamous. I mean, while I do own like Ichi the Killer and Martyrs and Ounce of Shield from VSS and Cannibal Holocaust and Faces of Death and Last House on the Left and all these other disturbing movies, I still don't think I have enough disturbing movies. And I would put ABCs of Death with my disturbing movies, but the thing is, I mean, a lot of people hated that movie anyway, and really the only people that liked it were people like me that knew what to expect, and everybody else was just like, oh my god, this is so disgusting, turn it off, it's stupid, it's boring, it's retarded, it's whatever. While I saw it as a great experiment in film. I mean, I would put it over there. It's just, I kind of don't want to. But anyway, guys, I'm going to tell you what I gave this movie on IMDb. I gave it an 8 out of 5. Or it was either an 8 or 9 out of 5. I'm not going to pull it up right now and tell you. It's in between there as a film that is watchable compared to, like, I mean, this film is watchable, and it's definitely one to check out at least once. But if you're squeamish, if you don't like some of the things that are aforementioned in this video about this film, or if you want to know what exactly is in this film, look up go on IMDb, check the Parents Guide, and it will tell you everything you need to know. And they do the thing based on, like, sex and nudity, violence and gore, drug use, foul language, and intense and disturbing scenes. And this movie, and you can get a 10 out of 10 in any of these things, and this movie currently holds a rank on the Parents Guide of 50 out of 50, meaning it's got a 10 out of 10 on all of them. So yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty high up there, man. But I'd still suggest this, not to everybody. It's not a film I would suggest to anybody who's squeamish or anything like that. And I'm kind of glad I didn't get the uncut version, even though the uncut version is what I put on my list. I'm happy I didn't, honestly, because just thinking about owning the uncut version, I think just putting it on my shelf would make me want to be sick. So yeah. Anyway, guys, damn, this is nearly a 10-minute long review rant. I'm BiscuitBoo69. It's almost 2 in the morning, and I'm going to a party tonight. Yeah, tonight at 7 o'clock tonight. And, yeah, I may do a little bit of filming there. I may not. Depends. If I do, it'll probably be of someone doing something stupid. But anyway, guys, I'm BiscuitBoo69. Signing off.